live on Facebook. There we go. Okay, great. So welcome to today's YFP 101. Today we're going to be going over your content calendar, how to find it, all that good stuff. And also I'll go over how you can add certain things. So if you have to add a task or an appointment or even your own event, we're going to be going over that piece as well. So first off, thank you so much for joining today. And I've got to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Yes, I am. Good. You know how fun that is when you're in a rush. So today we're going to talk about the content calendar. Before we jump into that, a little bit about YFP. If you're brand new, your Freedom Project is a 360-degree ecosystem of tools and training that can help you find new builders, find new customers, and increase sales and retention. And YFP addresses the three specific areas that builders struggle with in Shaklee, which is not knowing where to go to find people to talk to, not knowing what to do with the people they find, and not having a formula or plan to stay on track and measure success. Your Freedom Project supports your growth in three main ways with tools, training, and support. So we're going to jump right into this live. This will be all share screen. So let me change that and change that. Go over here. And move things around. Okay, so there's a couple things that I just want to show you, and this will probably be a pretty quick class, but at the same time, hopefully very helpful in helping you just utilize this piece a little bit more. So from your YFP dashboard, we do have a calendar built in, so you can see what's coming up. All of that good stuff. And then you can also integrate it into your Google Calendar, which is what I do. I have it so that in my phone, I have everything that's going on and I don't have to worry about overlap. So to get to the calendar, that's where you come up here. There's a couple ways to get here, but this will be the fastest way. When you come up here to these things here, there's this little calendar icon. When you click on that, you're going to be brought to a page like this. And I like to have mine in a week by week format rather than by day or by month. I just find it easier to see. So then you know what's coming up for that week. So right off the bat, we have all of the YFP events already put in there. Okay. Now these I've just noticed are in, this one anyways is in Filipino time. So we'll have to make sure that we switch that up, but it should correspond with, so it won't be at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So it should correspond with whatever time zone you are in. And how you can change your time zone, by the way, I'll just open this up. When you go into your profile, so you come over here to the top right-hand side where it has your icon, your profile picture, and you go to my profile, it's going to bring you to this page here where then you will have I believe it's integration. I could be wrong, or maybe it's, I always forget if it's integration or preferences. It might just be preferences. I have a feeling it is. Yeah, you come under preferences, okay, and you go to calendar. So underneath, you go to profile, preferences, and then calendar. And then once you're in there, it'll ask you what time zone you want to be in. Okay, so select the time zone that you're in, save it, and then your calendar should reflect that. Now this one's just being a little bit wonky, but everything else for me here is in the time zone it's supposed to be in. I'll have to get the team to check that one. So that's right off the bat. All the YFP events will be pre-done. So if you're ever wondering what's coming up, what's going on, and same thing for when we have a webinar, that will be shown on that particular day at that time that it's supposed to be happening. Okay, so that's the first piece that I just want to show you is where you can see what events are coming up and when. The next piece of this is that you can add your own events. So let's say that you decide you want to host your own event. Whatever you're hosting, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's just a live that you're doing on one of your social spaces. You're going to do a live broadcast on Facebook, for example. You can add that as an event. Okay. You can also choose an event to copy. So if you've ever done one before, then you can copy that event, or you can just do your own. So let's say we're going to do Facebook Live, and then you can add your topic. Okay. How is this going to be done? In home, in town. So it would be webinar based type thing, one session, or if you have it as a series. So let's say you do every week on Wednesday at 8 a.m. Okay, you could have it as a series where it's like your date. So let's say we're going to do Wednesday at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Select your time. There it is. And then you can also have this show on your hub site calendar so that when people go to your hub site, they can see that this event is there. And then this is where you add the notes. So you could say, you know, I'm going live, and then grab the link of the space that you're going to be going live. So for example, oops, if it's Facebook and you're going to be going on your page, give it a second, you would navigate to your page, okay, and then you would copy the link up here. So where it says facebook.com/it's Kristen Louise, I would just take the don't worry about the reference equals pages you manage because that will take them to a place that's broken. You just want the before the slash. You'd copy that and then come back to your calendar, going live on my page or going live in Facebook at this time. And here is the link. So then people can navigate to that page. You can take that last slash out and then save it. And it'll take a second or two for it to save. But this way, then people can navigate straight to your business page at that time and come and watch your live video. Or if you're going to be doing it in Zoom, same thing. You would take the link and copy it and paste it into that, into your event. Okay.
That's good, Kristen. We never saw that one before. At least I didn't.
There we go. We learned something
That's a
new.
brand new one. Thank you, dear.
You're so welcome.
You're so good. Oh.
So Lee is asking, is it a big deal adding to your Google Calendar? So adding this calendar to your Google Calendar, is that what you mean, Lee? Like where you're integrating the two? I find it really helpful because then you have it right into your Google Calendar when your Marketing Monday is, the YFP 101s, the Networkers University, and then anything that you're adding in here as an event is also going to automatically integrate.
That's good.
So
Awesome.
How do you do that?
So there's a couple ways, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a minute. The best way to do it is book an appointment with one of the elves and ask them to help you with it. That's honestly the best way and the fastest way.
Good.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it, is just get in touch with them and they'll do it for you.
All right.
That's good. Great question. Thank you for asking. So now I just have to wait for my calendar to reload here. So bear with it. It'll take a minute. The other thing you can do, by the way, and thank you. I'll go back to my dashboard. Now, that's if you want to view the calendar. The cool thing is that with this beautiful actions button, you can do all of it right from here. So you can add a task, add an appointment. When you add a task or an appointment, that will add it, especially the appointment, will add it right to your calendar. I'll have to get them to put in here, add an event, because that is super, super helpful. And my calendar's having a hard time reloading, but that's okay. We'll give it a second. But the main thing with the calendar, well, let me show you what it looks like too on the hub site. So now the YFP events, they shouldn't show up on there, but anything that you post on there should. So while that's loading, I'll take you to my hub site because I've now created an event, and that'll be under the events tab on your hub site. Okay. You can also, when you click on the events tab, just copy this. Say if someone wants to know what events are coming up, copy this and you can send it to them in Messenger. But our wellness webinar will always be up there and be showing. And then there's my Facebook Live. So then I can click on this and oh, look, there's the link to it. So then people can just navigate to it right from your hub site. Okay. So if you're doing regular live events, have them booked out in here and on your calendar so that when people go to your hub site and they see what events are coming up, they can see that this is here. And it's just another way to get the word out. Okay. I hope that was helpful. And has my calendar caught up with me yet? No. I overloaded it. That's what I did. And that's kind of the basics with the calendar. Now with tasks, with appointments, it'll show up a little bit differently. So you can book an appointment, and you can even have it where you'll have a contact's name in there. So if I have myself, I should have myself in here. Yes, I do. And say we want to do this is a follow-up, or we have a predetermined what we're going to be talking about. So let's say we're going to talk about Prove It Challenge. Now, the appointments I would not show in the calendar hub site or the hub site's calendar. So don't check it when you're doing an appointment, because then that'll show up publicly. You wouldn't want that to be. So let's say we're going to be meeting on the 1st. And again, we'll just stick with 8 a.m. You can write any notes you have. So notes go here and then save. One thing to note about this when you're creating this appointment and it shows up on your calendar is that this is also going to email your contact saying that you've set this appointment up. So just be aware of that. I did it as a test and I had one of my downline in there and she's like, I can't make it. I'm like, no. It was just for an example. I'm not actually contacting. We're not going to go through it. But then this will also show up in your calendar. So if I save this and let's double overload my calendar now. But then my email address is going to get an email saying that I've set an appointment with myself. And then it also gets put into my calendar, and it'll give them the option to put it into their calendar as well. My calendar's having a hard time. Go ahead, Julianne.
Does that go to everybody or just the one person?
Just the one person,
Okay,
whoever
just
you set that
one.
appointment with, it's only going to go to that person.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Mine's having a hard time here. Okay, so that's done it. Let's see if I can get this back and opened. Stop. Give it a second. I think it just needed a reboot. Okay. Now it's having some hard times here. I think it's just because my bandwidth is a little bit low at the moment with everyone doing school stuff.
So what I heard from you was like Dr. Daggie's thing, that doesn't automatically go in the calendar. You have to put it in. Right?
No, that one should just go into the calendar.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah. That one will be good, because if you go to the events tab, it'll be the one right up at the top anyways. So if we're going into the hub site, there we go. We go back into events. I can close that.
Stuck in podcast.
There we go. Okay. If we go back to events, it's going to be right up at the top anyways, where they can learn more and register right from the events page. And then it should show up in next month as we move forward. So that's how that would be. So you don't have to worry about adding that in. It'll already be there. You're welcome. And let me see, has it done it? No, it doesn't want to reload it. Hold on, let me close a couple tabs here. What don't I need? And I'll close that one too. And then what other windows do I have going? Close that one. Hopefully that'll help it. I think my computer just has a little bit of too much bandwidth going on. But that's the basics of it. So, and I don't want to get too deep into it. I'll just let that go. But do you have any questions about the calendar piece that we've covered so far? And maybe that's what I'll show too, is if you do want to integrate it, there is a spot that you can do that, which I do recommend. It is very helpful to have the calendar integrated. So I'll get that open so that we can take a look there. Share screen. There we go. Okay. And that will be, I think that's under preferences as well. Well, that calendar page is trying so hard. But the best thing to do is, if you can, just get the team to help you with that. But you can do it if you're comfortable with doing it and you know what links and where to put them, then you can definitely do it yourself as well. So the main thing here is you get this link that you can copy. So you copy it into a clipboard, and then you would go into your calendar, so your Google Calendar, So here we'll go into mine. You guys can see my crazy schedule. And then over here on the left-hand side, you'll see you can add other calendars, okay? And you're gonna add it from a URL. So you click on the plus sign, add from our URL, and then you paste it in, and then you click add. Now I've already got it added in, so I'm not going to do it. And you can make the calendar publicly accessible if you choose to. It doesn't matter. You don't have to. But that's that. And then when you come back, so down here, you'll see my YFP events, and I can't scroll this down any further. So I will grab my pencil. So you'll see down here, I have YFP events. As long as that box is checked, then they're going to show up, and they're all the red ones. You can change the color for it as well. If I clear that and I get rid of this, you can change the color for it by clicking on the, so when you hover over top of YFP events, you can click on the 3 dots and then pick whatever color you want it to be. Okay. And then they'll all show up here in your calendar. So yeah, that has to get moved. That must have just got put to the wrong spot. But then you have it in your calendar. So I have Marketing Monday, we have YFP 101, and then same thing for, and it might not be in the calendar just yet, but if I move to next week, oh no, the 13th, when we get that put into the calendar, it'll show up here for Dr. Daggy's event at 6 p.m. my time. It'll be 8 p.m. for you guys, or for anyone in Eastern time. Okay. And then everything just integrates in. Nice and pretty, kind of. So that's how you would do that. If you want to try and follow along with that, then you can integrate it. And if this is like, I don't know about this, don't worry about it. Book an appointment with one of the elves. They will walk you through it. That's honestly the best way to do it. So that's the basics of it. And I don't think that that's going to want to load right now. I don't know why it's having such a hard time, but that's okay. We covered the main pieces where you can see, you know, what events are coming up, how it looks, how to create your own event, and make sure that you have it in your hub site calendar as well, especially if you're doing a live event. And I think that about covers it. So a nice quick class today, which is great. I think it's great for a Tuesday. One thing before I close it off here, I just want to do a quick reminder that we are taking a 4-week break from the YFP 101s and the Marketing Mondays. So we're doing our spring break. And so this will be the last YFP 101 until May 3rd, I believe. Or hold on, is that right? Oh, that's April. Yeah, until May 3rd. So we will resume with YFP 101s May 3rd. And until then, I just want to do a quick little plug for this is, so as we're taking our spring break from training, this is a good time for you guys to also take a break from the training piece. See what you want to implement now. So as you've been doing learning for the last 3 months, what is it that you want to be implementing and start to refine your process and how you do your business and what you share. This is also a good time to take a look at what worked for you for the last 3 months, right? What are some strategies that have been working very effectively for you? What hasn't worked? And then what do you want to shift going forward? So obviously keep the things that are working for you already. Don't change those. But what could you change in the things that aren't working, or do you even need to have that thing there for moving forward in the next 3 months? So refer back to your business blueprint, right? Where was your goal for the end of this year? Where are you now? And what are the activities you're doing? So this is also a great time to assess, how is your activity going? Have you been on track with it? Have you been using the DAC, the daily activity checklist, and doing those 6 key activities each day, or however often? We recommend each day. But if you have it where you do it 3 days a week, that's fine too, as long as you're staying consistent with it, okay? So good time to just assess activity. And if you're struggling, the best thing to do is make sure that you track what you're doing. There's a couple ways that you can track it. You can set up a little checklist in your phone that tells you, so then you can just be like, okay, I did that today, I did that today, I did that today, done. The other thing you can do is set something up in OneNote where you have a checklist for each day, and then you know what you're doing, and you can see how many people have I gone in and interact with their posts. Have I started any chats today? Because we do have a tendency, I am the worst culprit, where if we're not tracking it, we tend to think we're doing more than we are, right? Or we end up doing busy work and it's not super productive work. So I just wanted to give you that little plug for this spring break, that this is a good time to, if you haven't done tracking for your activity, set some up for the next 3 months so you can see what you're doing. And then it also holds you accountable in a very gentle way to keep you on track for what you're doing, okay? So we'll resume YFP 101s May 3rd, right? Did I have that right? May 3rd? Yep, May 3rd. So enjoy this little break. A quick reminder too that we have NWU, our last class for the Facebook Prospecting Academy, on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we're going to be talking about Facebook Messenger, how to use it, why is it important, what to say, all those other great things that I know sometimes we get hung up on with Messenger. And then that'll be it for NWU. And then we'll also have our YFP 202 for next month on April 7th. Okay, so in the YFP 202 is going to be our social media marketing summit. So we're going to be doing an overview of social media, what's working on some platforms, touching into some of the newer platforms and what's working there, and any new features that have come out for any of the social media platforms that we're already currently using, and the best ways to use them if you're on that platform. And I just want to do a little PSA note that just because we talk about a platform does not mean you have to do it. You have to be on it. We just want to say, here's what's available so that the people who are using that platform can get a little bit of insight. So don't feel like you have to start a new social media account if you're just focusing on, say, Instagram. You don't need to go start a TikTok if you're not ready to do that. Okay. We just want to show you what's available and what's going on. All right, I think that's all for announcements. So let's end this off. So if you're brand new to YFP and you are wondering how to get started, there's a couple ways that you can do that. The first one is you can subscribe, pick a plan that fits your marketing needs, select any add-ons, and then book an onboarding appointment. You can check out our plans by going to yourfreedomproject.com/pricing, or you can take a test drive. So sign up for a fully functional 30-day trial, start trying out the system, and then also book a support/onboarding appointment so the elves can help you with navigation. And you can do that by going to yourfreedomproject.com/trial, or I recommend contact us. You can visit our help center and request a guided tour. Also join our YFP Facebook group for business builders. This is open to any and all Shaklee distributors. They don't have to be using YFP to join that group, because we also like to give as much free information as we possibly can in that group, and also support. And you can book that appointment by going to yourfreedomproject.com/support. And to get to our help center, by the way, a couple ways. Well, one way to do that is there we go. So when you're in the help center, there's a few ways you can get in touch with us. If you're having a technical issue, you need to book an appointment, or you need to submit a ticket, either of those is great. You can give us a call up here. This is also where you can join our Facebook group. You can submit a ticket if you're needing some technical assistance, and then you can also view any of your tickets that are in progress and have the conversation back and forth with whichever elf is helping you. Here is where you can book an appointment. So whether it's for you just need some technical support, or to go through and get an overview, a walkthrough of the system if you're considering purchasing or taking a look at it. And then you can also chat with an elf. This will connect you to that elf's Facebook Messenger. So if you have a quick question that you just need answered in real time, or as close to real time, if provided that elf isn't on an appointment, then you can do that as well. My messenger, I believe, is also in here. So if you need to message me about anything, you definitely can do that. Or if you have questions of, should I submit a ticket for this? Or is this a question I can come to you? I can help you with that in there as well. So with that, I want to wish you all a happy spring break. Go and enjoy yourself. Enjoy the warmer weather that's I know is coming soon. And we'll see you in May, on May 3rd, for when we resume our YFP 101. So thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day and a great week.